Alright, today we're going to be talking about something called completing the square, and we only do this with quadratic equations. A moment ago I thought we would put this into two parts, but we're not going to do it just completing the square, and we're going to do it without two parts, okay? And we're not going to be solving today. We're not solving. Alright? We're going to break this into a small step. We're just going to be doing something completing the square. And we're going to be doing that so that in a couple lessons from here, we'll be solving, but we aren't solving it today. We're just going to be doing the completing the square portion. It's almost like we're doing half the problem and then stopping. But we're doing that so that you can get practice of going that far. It's kind of like playing the piano. We don't teach you how to play really hard music.
Right.
We teach you how to play little pieces, and you practice those, and then we move on to something harder.
Right.
And something harder. So you could play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star with one finger, and then eventually get into chords and so forth, and play it really beautiful. But we're going to start at we're going to start doing it small, and then we'll add on after that.
Right.
Okay. All right. And the reason we would be completing the square would be to solve it. Okay. You've learned two ways of solving quadratics previous to now, where we would just take the square root of both sides. That's one of the ways that you learned just recently. We also learned how to we factored it and do the zero property by doing our little box method and putting the things in. And putting in x plus 4 and x plus 1, and then we do that method.
Right.
But these two methods don't always work. Some quadratics don't factor, and some of them are not in this form. And so the rest of them will work with completing the square. Okay? All right. And so we do that. We always make sure that it's in standard form. That means our x squared is first, the thing with the x is next, and the number is last. And what we always do is we always take this and we move it to the other side. Okay? By adding 10 to both sides, or adding that number, or moving it to the side. Okay? So we'll have x squared minus 6x, but we leave a space, equals 10. Okay?
Okay.
All right. What we're trying to do right now, it says completing the square. We're trying to make this one be a perfect square trinomial.
Okay.
And you have been doing your homework, and you've been stating them. One couple of the homeworks back there said, tell me if it's a perfect square or not. Okay? We're going to make this one be a perfect square. And we do that by taking half of that number and then squaring it. Okay? So 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then we square it.
So it'll become 9.
Become 9. Okay? So we add 9 here. Now, that will be a perfect square. This will be a perfect square trinomial right here. But equations, you just can't go adding thing to one side without adding it to the other. Otherwise, it will be a lopsided equation, right? So we have to add that 9 over here also. Otherwise, our equation won't be balanced. So when we started off with this equation will be the same equation. It will just look different now. But this one will be a perfect square on this side.
Okay.
So we'll have x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals 19. And you, at this point, will stop. We will not have solved the equation, but you're going to get practice up to this point. And then in lessons from here on, then we'll teach you how to solve it. Okay?
Oh, that's it?
Yes. Okay. This method that we did works if this number in front is a 1. So if it's not a 1, like this one over here, it's a 2, we're going to have to do something about it. Okay? When we do something about it, we're going to just divide by that number on everything.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay.
You with me?
Yes.
Okay.
So then we'll have x squared plus 4x minus 2
Equals, in this case, 0.
0.
Okay? And then we'll just do the same procedure.
Okay.
Now, this one worked out really nice that all these were even numbers.
Yeah.
Okay? And then 2 went into all of them, and we can divide that. Sometimes it'll be fractions when we do that.
Ugh.
And that's going to be okay. That's just what we're going to have to do. So, now we scoot this over. X squared plus 4x, leave a space, equals, and we add the 2, so it'll be plus equals 2.
Okay.
We take half of this and square it. So 4 over 2 and square it is going to be
Oh, sorry, my stomach.
4. So we're going to add 4 and add 4. So we will have...
It'll be x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals 6.
Very good. Okay.
Okay.
And that is where you'll stop. If you were solving the equation, we wouldn't stop. And we haven't finished the completing the square solving process, but for this lesson, you'll stop. Okay, let's do this one. So what am I going to do here to start this?
Okay, so you're going to divide by 2.
Okay.
So it will become x squared plus 3x minus 2 equals 0. And
Okay.
so then you will add the 2 to the 0.
Okay.
So it'll become x squared plus 3x, leave a space, equals 2.
Okay.
So then you will, yes, and then,
Yeah,
it'll be a
oh.
fraction.
It'll be a fraction. And so it'll be, what is that? When you multiply, excuse me, what's 3 over 2 squared?
9 over 4?
Yes, so we'll have plus 9 over 4 plus 9 over 4. Okay?
Which I have no clue what that
Yes,
is.
so we would just get a common denominator. So we'll do x squared plus 3x plus 9 over 4 equals, this will be, get a 4 as a common denominator. That's like a 1 right now, so it's going to be 8 over 4. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
So when we add 8 over 4 times 9 over 4, what do we get?
8 over 4 plus 9 is going to be 17.
Yes, 17 over 4. So this will become 17 over 4, and we're going to stop there.
Okay.
Okay, stop there. All right, your textbook actually is going to do it slightly different, but we're going to leave it like that, okay?
Okay.
All right, 9 over 4.
Okay.
Okay,
That's not too bad.
and you're going to stop there. When you check your work, I think it's going to be slightly different than mine. I mean, what we just did. And so, bring them to me, and I'll double check that you did it right. Okay.
Okay.
But this is how we're going to do it. All right.
All right.
Okay, we're done. We completed the square. We did half of the completing the square.
Okay.
Another lesson, we'll finish it. Okay.